Audiophiles of the internet. My name is Adriana, and today I'm here to bring you my March book haul. Let's forego the intro this time and just cut straight to the chase. The first book I'm going to talk about I've already shown on my channel, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this book because I'm pretty sure that most people already know what it's all about, but it is the first in V.E. Schwab's latest series, an adult fantasy series, and it's about parallel Londons that are lined up next to one another and a character who can traverse between them. And from time to time, he engages in some illegal activity and occasionally smuggles things from one London to another, and one day he smuggles something that is very dangerous. I am currently reading this book. I should be finished with it before this video goes up, but I'm really enjoying it so far. The next book I have to show you is I Am the Messenger by Markus Zusak. This book is about a main character named Ed Kennedy who puts a stop to a local bank robbery. After this heroic act, he garners a little bit of public fame, and as a result of that, he finds himself the target of a very interesting operation. What happens is somebody is dropping cards in his mailbox, and on those cards are addresses or instructions for things he needs to do, or people he needs to see, or people whose lives he needs to change in some way. I have already read this book, and I really did not like it. I don't even know why I'm hauling it for you today because this ain't going back on the shelf. The next book that I bought is the first volume in a manga series, and that is volume 1 of Hunter x Hunter by Yoshihiro Togashi. This is an epic adventure story about a main character named Gon Phrixes who aspires to be a hunter. To become a hunter in this world is to achieve a very high social status. But rather than wanting to become a hunter because of all of the perks that title entails, he really wants to become a hunter so that he can track down his father, who was also a hunter. I picked up this volume because I was recently marathoning through Hunter x Hunter 2011, the anime series, and I decided if I really enjoyed that, then I would start reading the story in manga form. And I only bought the first volume because I know that my library has like the first 30 volumes, which is insane and highly convenient. After that, I bought the Penelopiad or the Penelopiad or some other pronunciation that I don't know of by Margaret Atwood. To put it simply, this is a retelling of the Odyssey from Odysseus's wife Penelope's point of view. I first heard about this book after I read the Song of Achilles because that is a retelling of the Iliad, and the Odyssey is a sequel of sorts to that. So I know these are not the same type of retelling, but I'm very interested in reading this hopefully soon. And then I bought a book that is arguably one of the most highly acclaimed and recommended books on writing, and that is On Writing by Stephen King. This book has basically been recommended to me in every single creative writing class I've ever taken. And I know that it's part memoir, part advice, so I'm really interested to see what it's all about. And then I bought my own copy of I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I recently did a book review on this book, and I will link that down below because I talk all about what the story is about and how I felt about it, and I really enjoyed it. This book is extraordinary and you should all read it. I'm just saying. And pretty much immediately after I finished reading that book, I knew I wanted to read her first book, so I bought The Sky is Everywhere, also by Jandy Nelson. I have plans to definitely read this book in April, and I'm so excited to read more from Jandy Nelson. And after that, I went a little bit crazy and I bought myself not one, not two, but 4 vintage classics. The first vintage classic I bought is I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I read this book a few years ago and I really enjoyed it, but I wanted to buy it in this edition specifically. And this is a classic coming-of-age story about a young girl named Cassandra who lives with her family in a castle, but it's not as glamorous as it sounds because the castle is kind of crumbling around them and her family is very deeply in poverty. And basically it's their life story as told through her diary entries, and it's awesome. The next 2 vintage classics classics I bought, I have also already read many years ago and I really love them, but I wanted these covers because they're so gorgeous, and that is A Little Princess and the Secret Garden, both by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Both of these are classic children's stories and I love them so much because they're about little girls kind of being complete badasses in terrible situations. And they're both phenomenal stories. I think Frances Hodgson Burnett is a wonderful writer, and if you haven't read these already, you really should. And the fourth vintage classic is the only one I haven't read yet, and that is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I don't know much about this. I know there's something about time traveling and a prisoner of war and possibly the apocalypse. And also this book is incredibly short, so I hope to get to it sooner rather than later. And finally, I bought myself a hardcover edition of The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani. I read the first book in this trilogy on my e-reader and then I pre-ordered the second book last year, so I have that one in hardcover and I just didn't have this one. And spoiler, I pre-ordered the third book in hardcover, so now when it comes in July, I think, they will all match and they will all be beautiful because are you seeing this? If you haven't started this series, I very highly encourage you to look it up and to read it because it's incredible. So those were all of the books I collected in March. In the comments down below, be sure to let me know if you have read any of the books I showed in this haul today. But other than that, that's everything I had for this haul video today. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye. Frances Hodgson Burnett. I swear, her name is so hard to say. I have actually already read this book and I kind of hated it. I have already hated this book. The next book I bought is the first in a manga series, and that is Hunter x Hunter Volume 1 by an author whose name I should have looked at before I started talking.